him, because this is one thing I haven't done. I haven't done that. I've been so excited about this for so long that I haven't took notes on Billy, because you guys really don't understand how special of a person we have here. And, I know Billy doesn't want to tell y'all this, but I'm going to tell y'all this because I really want to edify him so you guys understand who we have that's taking the time here. So Billy is not only a pioneer in the industry, he's a pioneer with Connect United. And that is a big deal, and he will talk about that. So you guys make sure you write that down. What's a pioneer with Connect United? Which means he came from day one of this company and is at the top rank of the company, aka pioneer. So which now allows him to get action points off of everything done through the United States. He's made tens of millions of dollars in the space on exactly what he's going to show you guys tonight. I followed him on Instagram, and where he is building literally a dream home, a $6 million dream home. He's driving his dream car, and honestly, that stuff doesn't matter, but it just validates that we're in the right place at the right time. It's not like he's even flashy. He just went out and got something that he's always wanted. And I respect him for that. And I'm sure he'll tell you his mom told him to go do it, which love moms that do that. So Billy's worked for, he's, sorry, Billy works with professional athletes. Just saw him today, actually. He was on with a two-time gold medalist, Brianna Scurry, which was a women's soccer. She was the goalie for the Olympics team for multiple years, two-time gold medalist. He was on today, setting her up and getting her. So he's mentoring her. Not only is he mentoring athletes, he mentors celebrities and all kinds of people. He is on here, and he's on here with us tonight. Admitting people in at the same time. He's mentored over 20,000 people in this industry over the last 9 years and is on track to do over $200 million in earnings, not sales. Let me say that again. 200 million in earnings, not sales, not on the sales part. So you can sell nodes and make money. He's done it on the earnings, and he's going to share that with you tonight also. He's also a published author and is on the front cover of is on a front cover with the one and only Les Brown, one of the biggest motivational speakers in the world. So if you guys probably know Les Brown, there's Billy right next to him. Billy just got through with his first mini documentary with Nick Nanton. And if you know Nick, he has over 22 Emmys, and they have invited Billy to come on to share his story on Amazon on the Success Network, where tens of millions of people will actually hear his story. And we have him here tonight. So you guys understand who we actually have on here with us. So I'm excited to have you on, Billy, and everybody listening. Share this replay and take some notes. Get your pencil and your pad ready. Billy, I made you co-host. I'm going to take myself out of the way, but it's a pleasure to have you on tonight, and we're really excited to hear what you got to say.
Wow, let me slip you $100 Venmo real quick. Thank you. Thank you for that intro. And I expect nothing less than Brian having at least 100 people, and he's right at 97. So first of all, thank you guys for allowing me to speak to you guys, because I don't take it lightly. I know all of you guys have responsibilities. You have families, you have kids that are vying for your attention, that really want your attention, spouses. And for you guys to be on here, it speaks a lot to who you are and what you want for your future. And I say that very confidently, that I think that we have a vehicle that will help every one of you. Even though I can't speak to the future of the projects, I can tell you, as Brian has mentioned, that I've done extremely well in this industry. And my goal was not to become my goal was to become a multi-millionaire, which I did, but it wasn't ever, my goal was never to be worth over $200 million plus or doing any of this stuff. It was to really put myself in a position where I could come and go, do anything I please, and then help my friends and family do the same thing. I know that a lot of people, I was talking to somebody earlier, and one of the guys on this call was on that call with me earlier, and he goes, well, man, if and I showed him exactly what I was making, and he's like, that's just insane. He goes, but why are you going out working? Why are you sharing that? I wouldn't share that. I was like, well, that tells me two things. Number one, it shows me your heart. But number two, it shows me that you've never really had money, because once you truly have money and you have success and you have anything really that you really want to go buy. Yes, I've got a fancy car and a big house that I'm moving into in 45 days. But what do you have after that? I mean, what do you do? Well, number one, you give back, I would hope, whether it's financially or your earnings or your time. But it's no fun to have all this money and there's no meaning behind it. So one of the things I truly love to do, I'm a veteran, I served in the Air Force, is I love helping veterans. And one of the things I'm going to be doing with my money personally, and I like to start off talking about this, is I'm going to combat homelessness for veterans in the host city of Vegas single-handedly. I don't care the cost. I've already met with some people at the city council. I told them I don't care if it costs 5 million, 10 million, 20 million, one way or another in the next 36 months, that we will not have another homeless person in Vegas, or at least I'll have the funds to combat that, and I will donate that kind of money to that kind of problem. So everybody has their own thing. I also like my mother growing up was a battered woman during her first marriage. So I want to support different things like that. So when I talk about what I'm passionate about giving back. I'm passionate about the projects that we do. We don't get on here and talk about the kind of money that we're making just because our company motto is blockchain with a purpose. So we're out here because we want to change lives. All the money in the world does no good if you have bad health, if you're not taking care of yourself, and you're the only one in your family that has it. I mean, that's really not that fun. I remember when I hit my first $10 million, I never had $1 million liquid cash in my account. I've made millions over time, but I've never been a liquid multi-millionaire before. And I remember the first thing I did was I went out and I bought my dream car. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you guys see my stories. If not, it's kind of a cool thing. As a matter of fact, that's when I started getting a lot of my businesses. When people saw me started flying around on private jets on Instagram and doing all these really cool things, taking 45 days off, going to Italy, and people like, I want to do what you do. And I said no to building a business for a long time because I'm 51, turned 51 in 60 days. And I was like, I just don't want to work that much. I've worked a lot in my life. And at this point, I like to kind of relax a little bit and start enjoying a lot more things. But once you hit that kind of money, you wake up, you think your life's going to change. For those that aren't millionaires, you chase this imaginary dream of becoming a multi-millionaire. And then when you hit it, you go buy everything that you want to buy. But what's next? You could do all that in 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. What's after that? You sit around like, okay, you want to impact lives. I mean, my goal, obviously, well, in the next 2 years, 3 years, I really feel like I'll be worth well over $1 billion, and that's fine and dandy. But I was telling somebody that's on this call today, my goal is to die broke. I want to give back and help better thousands and thousands and thousands of lives. And I truly believe this, what you guys are about to see, what you guys just saw from Brian, and I'll go a little deeper in some of those things, is a vehicle to help a lot of people do a lot of things. I'm not going to say it's going to make you $1 billion or $1 million. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it has the potential of helping a lot of people, is all I can say about that. Legal, if you're watching this, I know you are. Kat watches me everywhere I go on my socials. She's on my Zooms. So Kat appreciates me. I love our legal team because they do watch that. We don't want somebody ruining a good thing by promising people you're going to make a lot of money. That's not what we do. So, Brian, one of the things I wanted to touch, Kathy was not the founder of the Discover Card. She was the COO. She worked with Discover Card from day one, but she wasn't the founder. That's all right. I want people to, clarity there on that. But she is like my mama bear. We've been working now together for 3.5, 4 years. All of these CEOs we're a very tight-knit group because we all built something from nothing. As you go through this process with us, you will have bumps and bruises. We had a call today. Somebody called me and said, hey, Billy, there was a hiccup on such and such on a situation a week or so ago, and this happened. I'm like, yeah, I know. You're going to get more bumps and bruises, period. There's no company is perfect, and there's especially not one perfect in this industry where there's never been something like we've built before. And that's what makes it exciting. That's what makes you a pioneer in the verbiage. but I'm a pioneer in the physical aspect on what we're doing here as well. So I'll show you a little bit about that. But first, I wanted to kind of touch on what Brian said about this beautiful little card right here. Let me make sure there's no numbers. Okay, the numbers on the backside. This is my Switch. Can you see that? Yep. Says my Switch VIP card. I'm part of the beta testing for Switch. Only 20 people in the world have one of these cards at the moment. We do have 1,000 more coming out pretty quickly. I think another batch of 500 is getting ready to come through, and then another 500. And putting this to beta, which is where we can test this card. Like Brian said, I can move my crypto straight from my non-custodial wallet over to my custodial account, which is this right here. Go into anywhere. Go pay for dinner tonight or tomorrow or whatever, gas, travel, airline tickets, anything from the crypto I made today. Guys, that is just unheard of. And it's very, very exciting when you have a tool like this Visa card that accepts anywhere in the world. They accept Visa. They accept my tokens, my digital rewards that I minted today, and I can use them tonight to go to dinner. How many families can you impact by doing something like that? That's where I have my zone. That's where I feel like I thrive. And a lot of people I work with that are all leaders, I think that's where we all thrive is once you've made a little bit of money, that's fine and dandy. You can only buy so many things. But now, how do I impact lives? How many people can I help? I know with the first company, when I first got involved with crypto, Brian, is there a lot of new people on here or a lot of old people? Because I don't. Should I tell? I'll tell my story briefly. How's that?
Both, honestly, because it
Yeah.
definitely
Okay.
tells my story.
So for those that don't know, my name is Billy Womack. I'm from Tampa, Florida, but I live in this beautiful city called Las Vegas, where it is now starting to hit 100 degrees outside. I live right on the Vegas Strip in a high rise for the next 45 days, and I move into my dream home right here. If you guys have ever heard of Peter Lick, he's a world-renowned photographer, custom home builder now here in Vegas. I remember when I first moved out here. Yeah, this is a little bit big for just me. It's close to 8,000 square feet. But I had a girlfriend at the time and I was moving her and her son and everybody in there. That didn't work. But this house, I remember when I first moved out here, I drove my Mercedes Benz and I parked in that lot because I was like, I want to be close to the Vegas Strip because I do a lot of meetings. I'm here and I just visualize it. So for those of you guys, they're visualization type people where you go and you sit and you visualize something. I willed this into my life because when I moved out here, I didn't have $6 million cash to go buy this house, which I'm able to do now and do all these things. So I sat there, I'm like, man, my ideal dream place of living in Vegas would be right here. It's 5 minutes from the Strip. I still have the Strip view. And obviously I've had the same Bentley Continental GT that I drive now on my vision board for 14 years. So dreams do come true. It's kind of funny when I first got it, I got in there with my buddy Travis and I shed a couple tears because it was so exciting and special. And I was like, man, this is something awesome. But it's only awesome for a certain time and that time wears off. And then it switched for me. Then I helped my brother. Then my brother started driving a Lamborghini. And I was like, wow, my brother pulled up in a Lambo. I pulled up in my Bentley. And people are like, and we're brothers. And we both came from the same house. The house I grew up in was a $13,000 house. Not 13,000 square feet, 13 grand for the whole house. So we've came a long ways. And why? My brother owns close to 80, 90, closer, over 100 software nodes. My mother owns software nodes. My nieces own software nodes. My nephews own software nodes. Everyone in my family that I have a relationship with that I'm close in my circle owns software nodes. And I tell people, I'm like Oprah Winfrey when she does her 12 days of Christmas, or maybe that's Ellen, whoever it is, where Oprah come out and says, you get a car, you get a car. Well, I'm the node guy. I own the domain, the node guy. We're getting ready to put up some really cool stuff on there. And everyone around me, I'm like, you get a node, you get a node, you get a node. I live in Vegas. I go to dinners, cocktail waitresses. I have VIP hosts in Vegas that own nodes, have guys that run casinos that own nodes. The guys, we're doing an event. By the way, let me do a plug. If you guys know anybody in Amsterdam this weekend, in Amsterdam, put it in the chat. If you don't have the information, I can get you a flyer. Brian, do you have that flyer? If anybody knows anybody in Amsterdam, if not, I can text it to you. You can post it in there. But we're doing a big event like this up in Amsterdam. Get your contacts to that event. If you can't make that one, I'm hosting an event here in Vegas. We finalized everything a couple days ago. So the 30th of this month, which is a Thursday, we're doing an event right here at Aria. We just finalized this literally 72 hours, 42, I don't remember, 2 days ago or 3 days ago. Right here at Aria. It's called Poker Go, World Series Poker. It's a $10 million studio. It's a gorgeous place. They're also clients of mine, and they also bought a lot of, I think, a couple $1 million of nodes from me. Can we get the flyer? Yes, you can when it's done, Ryan. It's not, I just said we just got it done. So we haven't got it done yet. Give me next week. Actually, give me, I think they're doing it today, tomorrow. That'll be done, and we can get that to you as soon as it's done. So it's really, really exciting to see so many of you guys coming. I'm so thankful for Demetrius. I'm so thankful for Brian. Number one, I remember when I met Demetrius, he's on here with a lot of you guys probably know Demetrius. If not, you know Brian. When we met around Super Bowl time, I work with a lot of professional athletes. I've got a Super Bowl I've got a Super Bowl champ that's just coming on board with me as well. I managed over 45 pro athletes for many, many years. That's turned into me knowing a lot more professional athletes. It's turned me into today, obviously, as Brian mentioned, working with a 2-time gold medalist. And I've got a ton of other athletes like that. My new house that I'm building right now, by July the 7th, my podcast area will be in there. Brian, you'll have to come out. We'll do a podcast together. I'm going to start doing podcasts with celebrities on my team, with different CEOs on my team. We can do these lives straight from my studio. It's going to be really cool. It's my buddies who built this whole studio, and he's moving, and I'm the only one that's used his studio for a podcast like 3 times. He goes, man, listen, I don't even need it anymore. Why don't we just set up, he owns nodes as well. Everyone around me owns nodes. So he's like, why don't you just set this up in your house? I'll give it to you at a good discount. And I was like, I'll buy it for you all day long. And so they're going to set up a whole, one of the spare bedrooms. I got several of them, and they're going to set that whole thing up as a podcast room. It's going to be really cool. So we can give you guys a lot more content. I'm super, super excited about that. So I'm going to show you a couple things real quick. I went a little long on that. I usually don't talk that long about some of these things, but I get really passionate when Brian opened that door about what I make. I want you guys to understand it doesn't matter what you want to make. Once you hit a certain amount, whatever that amount is, it's hopefully never about you guys anymore. It's about how many lives that you can impact. And if you're around me, that's all you're going to hear. That's all Brian and I talked about. That's all me and Demetrius talked about when we start meeting. And that's some of you guys that are on here are on my team. I think it's very, very selfish if we hit the promised land and you sit there and you make XYZ and you don't turn around and help other people around you that really need us. So that's just my thoughts on that. So let me show you a couple things. If you're in the chat room, let me ask you this. Please type in there. Please share, because I don't want to seem egotistical and show some things and sound like I'm cocky or stuff. So if you really want to see a little bit about, we all want to see money that can be made. I can't talk about future earnings. I will talk about current earnings. But if you want to see some money and you want to see what the future could look like, type show me in the chat. So let's see here. Who wants to see it? And if, there's some hungry people in it. Show me, show me, show me. I like it. I like it. All right. That's enough for me. Oh, there's a big one. I can't read the names. They're going by so fast. Show me state. All right. So I'm going to show you a company we did in the past. So you can, let's pretend we're back to the future. I'm going to go back to the future. I'm going to tell you guys a funny story. A lot of people, I was on a Zoom yesterday with I don't know how many people were on that Zoom. And I was on another one a couple of days ago with a couple hundred people. We do so many Zooms, and this girl came on, it was her Zoom, and she introduced me and she goes, yeah, Billy, I wish you would have poked me a little harder when it came to buying these software nodes. And I knew her back then really well, and she was ridiculously successful. And she goes, I wish you would have pushed me a little harder knowing what I know now. So I'm going to give you, knowing what she knows now, where you guys are now, so you can make the educated decision if you want to buy 1 node, 2 nodes, I only bought 11 back then. Those 11 software nodes that I bought June of 2019. That's when we started selling our very first Gala node, June of 2019. Oh goodness, that's coming up on, what month is this? Is this May or June?
Still May.
May. So in almost exactly 20 days will be our 5-year anniversary that we bought these Gala nodes. Wow, time flies. So 5 years ago, let's call it 5 years ago, 5 years and 20 days. 5 years ago, I bought these software nodes and I was making really good money, but I only paid, they were $1,000 each for these 11 nodes that I bought. I bought 4 nodes from another blockchain. So let's call it, I put $11,000 away. I looked at it just like putting it into a savings account. So I want you guys to see this real quick. This is our gaming platform. It's called Gala Games. These nodes, if you try to buy one right now, they're going to cost you $105,000 each. So I put 11K in. I've got over what's that? Over $1 million in liquidity in those nodes. Every time someone buys an NFT, plays one of these silly games or anything else like that, there's a gas fee. So all of those gas fees in there actually come back to the node owners as well. But right here, you can see, let me click here. I'm going to kind of show you the withdrawals so you guys see it with your eyes. So you know this is true. When Brian and Demetrius came to me like, Billy, we've been part of so many rug pulls. Billy, we've been part of so many things that didn't work out. And I told them, guys, that's life. That's being an entrepreneur, number one. Number two, I can understand that things don't work out, but we're definitely not a rug pull. So it's one thing for a business to not work out. It's another thing for it to be a rug pull. We are a billion-dollar company. We had over $1 billion in our infrastructure free and clear, 0 investors. We do that by design and for a reason. We don't have our blockchains that we're starting up have to go out and raise money to try to go build something. Hopefully the market will make. What we do is we build these blockchains. We have a line of credit that is pulled by the guy that started this whole thing. He pulls from that. These guys come in and set up their own blockchains. I'm not sure if it's going to let me show you guys. Let me try to refresh my screen. Usually when I do Zooms, if there's a lot of people on the Zoom, for whatever reason, I can't get it to go through. I'm going to try to show you guys some stuff.
Sometimes if you unshare for a second and open it up and then reshare after it opens up.
Okay, so let me try that. So let me stop share. All right, let me go in there real quick. And let me push refresh. All right, now it popped up. So now let me go back. Brian, you're so smart. Hey, I like the new haircut there, buddy, by the way.
Just got it today.
I know, I can tell, boy. You looking so fresh and so clean. I like it. All right, guys. Here we are. Nope, I didn't hit withdrawal. Shoot, I hit. There we go. All right. So let me go back. This is a log. This is on the blockchain. So no altercations can be done. It's written in gold. There we go. It may take a few seconds here, guys, because I got to back up another year, 2 years here. I want to show you guys. I should have did this without sharing so it wouldn't take up so much time. Apologies. So, all right.
This is see it working.
So here we go. 3 years ago.
Wow.
3 years ago, I started pulling out 15,000 gallons, 2 million, 1 million, 100,000, 100,000, 100,000, 2 million, as you guys see right here. And this was at 67 cents when I did that. So, which I could show you all that too, just for the sake of time. But if you guys want to see that, I will show you that so you guys fully understand. So right here, let's see how that does. We've hit boom, boom, boom. Let me show you exactly so you see the dates line up exactly. I always like people to see that because, you know, there's always some negative Nancy out there. Well, you didn't show me that. Or I didn't, da. He could have been tricking you guys. All right, here we go, guys. Right, boom. 65 cents. I'm sorry. So exactly 3 years ago. No, that was as of there. So, oh, that's when I pulled out though, right there. So it was 65 cents. I'm sorry. I said 66, give or take. So roughly 3 years ago when I was pulling this out, it was at 65 cents. So this was 650,000. That's what roughly 1.3 million. 60. Oh, excuse me. You guys can do the math. 65 grand, 65 grand, 65 grand. So anyway, these were all the withdrawals, da 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 da, and they continued, and then they go, and it keeps going for a couple years. And still to date, if you look at my activities right now, you'll still see I'm still getting 6,800 gallop per day, 24 hours ago, right here from those same 11 software nodes. Now, for the geniuses in this, or for the guys that don't understand what that really means is, if you understand our tokenomics, great. If you don't, let me explain it. Almost all of our blockchains has 100,000 software nodes that we sell. The price for every 100 sold, they go up $100. Every 100 sold, they go up another $100. And you guys can see that right here. When you hit buy nodes, we usually have a little table right here that will show you. Right now, the grow nodes are 4,700. When 55 more are sold, it goes to 4,800. And so that's how the system works. And now that we'll go all the way up, these will max out. The way that it was originally designed was these will max out at $25,000 per node. So if you're watching this, you got your grow nodes at 2,500. That was the cheapest they were ever at. All of these, most of these were 2,500 bucks, 2,500 bucks. But if you got your nodes at 2,500, you can already see you have liquidity in there. Great. That's the price of the node. So now do the math on, there's 50 billion tokens on most of the platforms. When I say most, there's one or two that are a little off on that. So 98% of the blockchains we do, there's 100,000 nodes and there's 50 billion tokens. If you take 50 billion, divide it by half, that's 25. That's 25 billion tokens that go out to whoever's nodes are online that day. What I mean by that day, let's say you live in Florida, my home away from home, or my old home where I was born, and it's the what's it called, lightning capital of the world. You're hosting your one node on your computer. Electric goes out for a couple of days, or you have a hurricane, whatever the case. Your node is not online. You are not getting distribution. So if your node is not online that day, you get zero distribution. It has to run for 6 hours out of the day. So I have remote servers that run all my nodes, so I don't have to worry about that. So that means 68 million rewards are going out every single day, year one. Year two, it's half of that. So you guys can do the math. Half of 68 million, boom, boom. Half of that, half of that. Every year the distribution gets cut in half. There's 21 million Bitcoin, but the Bitcoin has a halving of it every 4 years. So the last Bitcoin's not produced till the year 2140. We have 50 billion tokens or rewards, and ours are given, but we have a halving it every year. But what happens as you get year 5, where we are now, you would think our distribution is a lot less than 6,000 per day. It is. This comes out to be roughly what, 600 tokens a day, I think. Let me look. You guys that are math wizards, I'm not, but I'm good with the calculator. All right, so that's 625. I was close. 625 rewards per day my 11 nodes are producing. But this had gotten all the way down to 300 rewards per day. And the reason there's an increase is because we have 28 million people on this platform playing games. Some played some days, some don't, but we have over 28 million users on this game. Why is that important to have a lot of people on your network? Because every time they play this game and they buy an NFT, there's a gas fee. Every time they sell an NFT, there's a gas fee. Every time they move money in, there's a gas fee. Every time they move money out, there's a gas fee. Are you starting to understand? There's a lot of gas fees. That's just how the whole system works. So if you're on here and you've had to pay $50 in gas fees or $25 in gas fees, you said, this is ridiculous, I'm giving up. That's the wrong mindset. It's just the opposite. You should be thinking, this is great. The reason it's great is because when you own a note owner and there's gas fees, we, the note owners, share in those gas fees every day. All those gas fees do not go back to the owners of the company. What happens is, as we continue to grow and more people are on the network, and our distribution of that original 50 billion wilter away, and we get down to 100, like in 5 more years from now, we're only going to be at 100 gallon per day. That doesn't seem very awesome, but because there's more people on the network and there's plenty of gas fees, and this thing, let's just say this thing goes back to a quarter, which is, I think it's going to go back to over 80 cents, but that's just me personally. But that's because a lot of these tokens there's a lot of reasons for that. I know a lot, I don't want to dive into all the reasons, but let's just say it goes back, it was at 84 cents, but let's just say it only goes back to a quarter, which I'm pretty certain it will. That puts me back up to $1,700 a day, 50 grand a month. This same account is still paying me. It will continue paying me the rest of my life as long as people are on this network playing games. It's just like a Google. As long as people go to Google every day or Amazon and order stuff, the shareholders and everybody gets paid. Well, as long as people are playing these games and doing stuff, we get paid. So now I'm going to shift over to Switch. As long as people are using these debit cards, as long as people are using our network, as long as we have clients accepting crypto we have business services and different things, as long as people do that, there's going to be gas fees. Where do those gas fees go back to? They go back to the note owners. So that's why I bought almost 300 of those Switch notes. Now they're a little bit more now. They're up to 9,000 each, which means you guys can do the math. 300 times 9 grand. I've got a little bit of liquidity in these nodes. But the really cool thing, not only have I gotten a lot of these rewards, but now I also have hundreds of millions of these tokens. So when this thing takes off and does what it does, I'm sitting on another lump sum. Yes, I can't predict the future, but I've got roughly 450 million tokens on there. Even at a quarter, that's 111 million bucks off this particular one. I'm not telling you it's going to go to a quarter. I'm telling you that there's a lot of possibilities, but I'm very hopeful. And do I think what I think doesn't matter, but you guys catch the drift. I can't sit there and tell you what something's going to go to, so I'm not going to do that. And this is not financial advice, so please don't go out and leverage your home buying all software nodes. So that being said, but when you really learn about these blockchain projects, you really learn about the mission, you really understand the problems it's solving, that's when it gets exciting, because the people that make the most money on earth are the biggest problem solvers. There are a lot of problems in agriculture right now. There are a lot of problems in banking right now. There's a lot of problems in medical right now. There's definitely a lot of problems in gold and precious metals, and so on and so forth. So as you research these companies, and you can do so in the back office, hit the share button, go in here, watch these videos. They will explain a lot of different things for you guys and explain all this, boom, 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 boom. And then you say, I want to be part of that mission. That is what you should be focusing on. You shouldn't be, and I get it. When you put money up, you're not an investor, by the way. Nobody here is an investor. We are not investors in these companies. When people ask what you've done, where your money went to, you bought a software. We are a software company. Remember that. We're not a crypto company. We are a software company. So when people come to me and they said, I had a lady today, I have one client who I'm texting as we speak. She's dropping $3 million with me. I'm buying software notes. And so I took her to dinner last time I was in Tampa. We went through everything, and I was waiting for the wire. She goes, my banker told me this was not a good idea for me to buy crypto. I was like, you're not buying crypto. She goes, I'm so confused. I thought I was going to get a lot of crypto from this. I said, this is where you should have educated yourself, especially for a $3 million purchase. You're buying a software. That software has a responsibility. When I started making Bitcoin at $200, this is what we bought. This is the exact machine I got in Reykjavik, Iceland, when I was in Iceland. This was 9 years ago. Goodness gracious, time flies. I've been in this space for a minute. Maybe it's 8 years ago. No, I've been with Wright for 7. It's been closer to 9 years. Goodness gracious. So this machine would plug directly into the network right here. Boom, boom. Plug right into the network. It cost a lot of electricity. The machines were outdated every 6 months. But when it would confirm the transaction on the blockchain the fastest, then I got deposits of Bitcoin every day that it did that. So think of this as your employee. Now, this was only working on the blockchain. It's set up to mine Bitcoin. Now think of a better, more economical system that it doesn't need any electricity. The machines aren't outdated every 6 months. You can buy as many as you want, just like you could here. But now it does its job in the cloud, and you don't have any energy costs. You don't have any outdated machines. You have to keep buying these. We had to buy these machines every 6 months. We had to update them. So imagine having a platform like that where you could buy a software. It does its job. It has a responsibility every day confirming transactions on the blockchain. And for it's doing its job, you got distribution every day in your wallet. So right here, I'm going to use Grow for an example. I love Grow. Grow is great. I love Element. I've got hundreds of nodes on all these platforms, so I love them all. But this particular one, Grow, we're just going to use this one for example. I've got 100 Grow nodes right here. Boom. So 100 Grow, it's getting me 286,000 Grow per day. It was 300,000, but the more people that buy the nodes, a little less distribution we get. So 286,841. Right now, it's roughly at 4 cents. Let me go over here. Boom, boom.
11,440.
Yeah, it's down, but it's at 4 cents. So I'm just going to times it by 4 because that's what it's been. Boom, 4 cents. So that comes out to be 11,000, like Brian just said. This account's paying me almost, well, give or take 4.5 cents, 4 cents, about $11,500 a day. Now, you're like, wow, that's a lot of money. But you got to understand, I put up a lot of money as well out of all these accounts. This particular one, I put 300 or 400 grand, whatever it was, on this one account. I think these were 2,500 times 100. There you go. That's what I paid for that account. But now is the fun part, because in the next 90 days, these will start getting on to exchanges. And that's when the growth really takes off. And that's the really exciting part. But this is where the average person, not you guys, because you're on this Zoom, you're not average. I'm going to tell you what average is. The average person, you guys are going to reflect back and understand this right when I say that. The average person that knows crypto, do you know how they make money? They wait till they see it on Coinbase. They wait till they see it on Binance, and they do a nice little write-up, and they say, guys, we're adding a company called Grow to our platform. You might want to check it out. And they do a nice little write-up, and they send it out to everyone on Coinbase's database, everyone on Binance, every exchange that it gets on, they do a write-up. Why do they do that? They do it for a couple of reasons. One reason is they want you to go buy that token, because when you buy that token, there's what? A gas fee. Guess where that gas fee goes, though? That goes back to the owners of Binance, that exchange. Now, when they come in and buy Grow at a quarter, who wins? Well, I'll tell you, they're going to win because they're getting it at a very good price. But at a quarter, do the math on mine. Decide if I decided I want to sell some at a quarter, and I've got, let's call it 34 million in there, times that by a quarter, I'm sitting on $8,500,000 at a quarter. I say, yeah, I'll release some of this at a quarter. So once it's on all the major exchanges, that's when I kind of release some of this, and I buy some other assets outside of crypto, and then I do some other things. But you guys seeing the pattern here? The way that the most successful people in this industry make the biggest money, it's not trading crypto. It's not hodling a coin. Well, I guess you kind of are hodling whenever you buy your nodes. It creates that those tokens for free. But the people that make the most are the people that don't pay for their crypto. I can tell you that. That means they're mining, they're making the crypto. So that's exactly what we do. That's exactly why you are on here, to learn exactly how we do that. So with that being said, I'm going to pause for a second. What time is it? Let me look and see what time it is. It's 7 o'clock. So let me pause real quick and ask Brian, to look in the chat. Where's my chat? This thing's all jacked up here. Chat. How are we looking on questions? Anybody got
There's
some
no
questions?
questions. I don't see any questions at all. You know, I mean, like, I think you did a wonderful job kind of sharing your story from, getting started and just how much you made just off of earnings. And now you started sharing what in November and you're probably averaging 100,000 a month. If
Yeah,
not
let's show that for a second. So I only started selling for building a team February the 1st. What I mean by that, I've been here from day one for 7 years. I made millions of dollars without building a sales team like Brian, doing one single Zoom. I was never on a Zoom up till February the 1st. I started building. So February the 1st, could I pay? February the 1st, I started going out doing what Brian's doing. I just requested 54,000. I made that this week. That can kind of or actually 3 days ago, I made it one day. So I'll show you guys. Since February the 1st, I made 113,000 plus 158,000. It's what, 270,000 divided by 3 months. That's right at $80,000 a month by me going out selling the nodes. That has nothing to do with my distribution at all. That has nothing to do with anything other than me just selling software nodes. I made 80,000, averaging $80,000 a month off that, which is decent money for doing some Zooms and helping some people really turn their life around. So that's really cool. But my nodes are completely separate from that, as you guys saw. I'll kind of give you one more thing to look at. Let's just say of all of our projects, these things only did 10 cents. I'll paint a little picture for you. In this particular wallet, I've got 367,626,649 times that by 0.0. That's 36 million bucks minimum this year off these accounts at 10 cents. So I've diversified my portfolio. I've got all these different projects. I've got all these different nodes. So that in a nutshell is what we do. We teach people how to support. That's the best word. That's the word you want to start using, how to support a startup blockchain. And we support them by buying a software node. That you're not an investor. You didn't go invest 10 grand with Brian or 5 grand with Brian or Demetrius or Billy. You didn't go invest anything. You went and bought some software. That software has a job. When it does its job, you get paid in digital rewards, which are here. Then they go into your wallet. They sit there until the community, which we're almost there, gets them onto the exchanges. Yes, every one of these will be on exchanges. I say that because Switch is an exchange and all of them will be on there. So they will all be on those exchanges. That is the ultimate goal. There's no reason for them not to go on there. So that is a goal. So when they get on there, then I can take that and I can liquidate, I can borrow against, I can do a lot of different things. So
Hey Billy, so I see some questions about the win. Like, what's the win node utility and can we trade the win in yet?
one second. Hey, I'm doing a Zoom. I have to call you right back. You're in the middle of a Zoom. Okay. Thank you. Hey,
And about like exchanges, what exchanges do you think will be on in the future with some of our brands?
well, all of these will go on to a lot of exchanges. Gala, we're on 180 exchanges. The same company that did Gala. This is the easiest way, Brian. At this point, I want you to start remembering this. The same company that did Gala that took us and got us on all those exchanges of Gala is the same company that's going to work on all of these. So it's one company, and they handle all that kind of stuff for us. They're community members, just like us, but their job is to help them get on exchanges. And there's certain guidelines to get these on exchanges. You got to have so many people in your Discord. You got to have so many people doing this. I mean, there's a whole checklist of stuff before you can get on exchanges. And we're very, very close of hitting all those check marks on all 5 of these brands. So all 5 of these brands, Element, Switch, Galvin, Grow, all 5 of these will be launching simultaneously over the next probably 45 to 60 days.
And about the win node, like utility for the win node, can we trade that one in yet? Or is that one that obviously
Can't do it yet. There's no liquidity yet, but it will be very soon. Why is win so important? That's a better question.
yes.
The answer to that is right here. When you buy, Brian, take notes on this so you remember, because I know this is the question each time. So we can tell them. Right now, you can buy any of these nodes with, where's it at? Oh, here it is. USDT and USDC. Those will be going away in the next 60 days. The only thing and the only way you can buy any of these nodes is through, come on, Brian, WIN.
Yep.
The WIN token. That's why it's so important to get this. Why? If you buy the WIN nodes now, all right, let me show you guys. Let me give you an example. This is very important. I'm glad you asked this question. It's very important. When you go out and decide to build on the WIN blockchain, which this is, and you have to, in order to build, you have to own WIN nodes. You can't go sell if you haven't bought a WIN node. You get 0 commissions. You have to go out and buy the WIN. So I started building this business February the 1st. That's when they moved me from direct with the corporates back over to this side. Said, Billy, we really need you to focus on that. Yes, sir, whatever you need. I'm here. I'm a team player. Boom. Let me show you what's happened and how this works. So what happens is the more of a team you build, if you want to do that, there's some people on here, you do not have to sell anything to make to do really well with these nodes. This is a completely separate thing. In addition to your nodes, if you decide you want to go out and participate in selling nodes, this is once again 100% separate. If you do that, when you start making sales, your distribution goes up with sales. So right here, you see I'm averaging making 22 to 34,000 rewards per day. If I bought these nodes, and I wasn't making any sales, my sales right now on this would be close to, it's 580, about 5,800. But because I'm selling and I'm outgrowing the network, they're going to reward me on top of my regular commissions. They're also going to give me more WIN distribution. Now, why is that important? That was a question I said to ask. Let me show you why. Right now, since February, I've accumulated 14,643,448. And the other day it was at 4 cents. That's an additional $585,000 I've accumulated, even though it's not liquidatable yet, but it's still there. Accumulated almost 600,000 addition to my commissions. So I've really made about $800,000 since February the 1st selling nodes. Now that's at 4 cents. Now, if you wait, and I will be patient and I'll wait for these start hitting exchanges, I think this thing was going to shoot up quite a bit. Why? Because right now we haven't implemented, there's no volume. You're not using your WIN tokens to buy any of the nodes. But when we put this into play, there's going to be a lot of liquidity pools. The volume's going to shoot up. There's no ifs or buts around it because we're doing tens of millions of sales right now weekly. So that's going to put that much volume on each and every one of them. Then you can cash out if you want to, do whatever you want to. I wouldn't. I've got a certain number in my head of a lot of these things, what I feel like they're going to go and do. So I'm not going to touch them. But anyway, you'll have a lot more. That's why you're going to want this. So let me explain. My 10 or whatever nodes I had on WIN, let's just say you bought 10 nodes February the 1st, like I did on WIN. But you got 14,643,448. And it goes to 20 cents. I just made $3 million for going out building a business. And I can take that $3 million and I can go buy $3 million more worth of nodes. Do you guys get that? Because if you really get that, whatever amount you make right here, total amount earned, you can take that, whatever the cost of WIN is at that time, you can use that just like it's a stock or anything else, a token. You can say, if this is worth right now $400,000, I can go buy $400,000 worth of nodes using all of this right this second. That makes sense?
Yep.
Everybody say so. Yes.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Good.
All right. What other questions here we got?
That's all I see. I think it was great. Thank you so much. I mean, we went an hour and 20 minutes and yeah, wow.
But Sally, I will answer your request, Sally, even though it's not the sun hasn't set yet, which is the prettiest part of my day, but Sally asked to see my view. So
Let's see that.
that's the Vegas Strip. That is Aria right across the street, Cosmo, Bellagio, and the Raider Stadium right there. So it's my view for 45 more days. And then I won't have that view, but yes. It's here in another 30 minutes. Sally, it will be gorgeous because the whole Vegas lights will be all over the place. So with that being said, let me think of here. A lot of you guys, here's something that came up earlier today on my last Zoom. People are like, Billy, I don't have your story. How am I supposed to go sell? I tell people all the time, use my story. You don't have to have your story. Use my story. Demetrius does this really well. Brian does this really well. I've got people not on my team. I did 3 Zooms this week with people not on my team, but they use my Instagram. They use my story. They go to my Instagram, which is Billy WO. They say, this is one of the guys that's mentoring me. That's all you have to say. This is a guy that is helping mentor me. Boom. And then get them on with your coach or your not your coach or your mentor or whoever's helping you. Say, listen, if they don't have a story yet, you guys use my story. I've been here 7 years. So me flying around in private jets, that may not impress a lot of people, but for the most people, they want to know that this is real and that somebody's not just sitting back there. And of course, I showed you guys, you guys saw my withdrawals and the millions of tokens I pulled out, and which equivalent to dollars, all that kind of good stuff. I bought over $3 million worth of NFTs that I have in here as well. Here's a ton of other stuff, but now I have over 650 nodes, which equivalent to another close to $4 million in nodes that I have. So it all adds up. But most importantly, use me as a tool. That's all. Don't call me a tool. Just use me as a tool. There's a difference. But there's a lot of Brian does that very well. Demetrius does that well. My friend CC, she's on here. I haven't went through and saw who all the people on here. I'm sure there's a ton of you guys that are on here, you know, that use that. But learn to use the tools. Don't sit there and try to explain what a node is. Don't try to explain this whole system. Go in your back office, use your shareable link, send that to them, and whoever your team leader is, just say, hey, can I do a quick intro with the guy that's mentoring me? Here's one of the guys. They all know who I am. You can use my story until you have your own story. Brian already has his own story. If you get really serious, Demetrius already has his own story. Yvonne, if she's on here, she already has her own story. These guys have all made over $30,000 with me in the last 45 days. Each one of those guys on my team have already made over, Brian's, he's nodding his head. You know why Brian's nodding his head? Because Brian's made over $50,000, right? How much have you made? I don't even know.
Over 60, but
oh my gosh.
you know,
well, you're rich. Can I borrow some money from you?
I'll send you some Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. What am I going to do with Bitcoin? I don't like Bitcoin. Oh, there you go. David G is on here. David made 20. I thought you made more than 20K with me, Dave. All right. So a lot of awesome guys. You know, that to me, hearing my team guys chime in and say, I made 20 grand, I made 10 grand, I made 60 grand, I made 40 grand. Guys, this is real. We're not going anywhere. We've been here for 7 years plus, and we're just getting started. So this is the really exciting part. By the end of the summer, you guys that have got started right now, that you own your own nodes, that is going to be the really, really, really cool part for you guys, because now you can say, I got a node. I had a lot of distribution. Those things hit the exchanges. I was able to pull my initial capital out, put it back in my bank, and now it becomes really, really real for you guys. So that's really cool.
I love it. Thank you for that.
Any other questions? Let me zoom down here. 45K past me, Brian. Demetrius said that. Demetrius, you're killing it. And Ryan made 30K. I don't know how to say your name. Ranjet, 17K. Man, a lot of you guys are killing it. That is awesome. You guys are killing it. I'm so proud for you guys. Listen, there's no better feeling than knowing your sweat equity of just going out, sharing something that's going to help somebody, provides an income for you and your family and all that. So it's a blessing. Oh, right here. this big attorney right here on TV right now. He just dropped $500,000 with me last week or 2 weeks ago, two and a half, 3 weeks ago. Guys, when you go out there and you share these little clips on your social media, watch some of the clips I do. Like Brian does it really well. I do it really well. Every time I do a Zoom, do a little clip, post it, tag me, tag Brian, tag whoever's doing the video, and say, these are the guys mentoring me. So you're taking you out of the equation, because I hear this a lot. Billy, I don't make your kind of money. I'm broke. Nobody's going to listen to me. Stop using you as a reference point. Take a video like this. Say, listen, I want you guys to meet the guys that are mentoring me. See, now you're out of the equation. You're not telling people that you're out there making a ton of money. Take that, post it on social media, on Instagram or wherever, tag us, boom, and say, these are the guys I work with. Tagging someone like Brian, are you freaking kidding me? The guy's a beast. He made 60 grand in 45 days. Guys, that's serious money. I don't care what industry you're in. That is good money. I made that 2 days ago in 1 day, but that's a great job, Brian. No,
it's helping a lot of people.
It's awesome to see people make that. I'm so freaking proud of Brian. I'm so freaking proud of all you guys. February 1st, my birthday, when on my first call, then we started March 4th. Oh, that was Demetrius. Oh, Demetrius, February 1st was my birthday. Okay, Demetrius, I got you. Correction, thank you. What's okay? I think I've hit all these. Any 235K since Patty. Wait, Patty's made 235K since February.
Wow.
Patty, you're burning it, girl. You're burning it.
Let's go.
You're almost catching up to me there.
Nice job.
Actually, I have a little bit more, but I didn't post all that stuff. Got to keep that one separate. But yes, Patty is correct. Guys, look at this number from her. Give her a big high five. That's freaking rock star freaking money right there. And why? And I guarantee if I ask Patty why, she's going to say, oh, it was great. But Patty is, let's get something straight. Patty is professional. I've met Patty. Patty is a freaking rock star. She has built teams, but she's very good at sharing a story. And that's what all you guys are doing. You're sharing a story of grow. You're sharing a story of these projects, and you want to help people. The people that are the most successful in this industry doing what we do are the ones that have the biggest heart, the ones that are out there sharing. They're not selling, you're sharing. So if you're out there sharing, and I said this every single time I'm on this Zoom, I hope you caught it. The people I care about the most are the people that own the most nodes around me. Why? They see me, they believe it, they ride my cars, they get on the jet with me, they fly with me, they do all these things with me. And I tell them, you can have this too, but you've got to take action. I can't do these kind of things for you. It's up to you guys. So what time? It's 7. I don't want to go 3 minutes past. I'm going to stop. So far, Patty for the freaking win. Good Lord. Girl, I'm so happy for you. So she's a freaking rock star. All right. All right. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Brian. Let him close you guys. Thank you guys for allowing me to share with you guys. I know there's a lot of different teams, and we're okay with that. I do a lot of Zooms for a lot of different teams. I enjoy sharing with people because it's not about me. And if you took it that way, I'm sorry that you took it that way. I promise you it's not about me. It's about helping you, because I don't need to get on here to pat my ego. I do it to show you the possibilities of where you can be if you stop thinking that negative and you start making everybody your priority around you. You say, listen, I want to help people. I'm here to change lives. And that kind of mindset and that kind of attitude, those are the people that are truly going to go out and change the world. So for those doing that, I thank you so much for allowing sharing. Brian, I'm going to kick it back to you and let everybody close it out.
I don't know if I can close it out any better than that, but just get back with the person that invited you. If you watch this whole Zoom, I know that your hair on the back of your neck is up too. So thank you, Billy, for everything, all the knowledge. And
May the 30th, last kick, May the 30th here in Vegas. If you want to meet me, come out.
yes.
And take little clips, guys. I can't stress it enough. Take little clips of when we're talking like this, post it on your Instagram, tag me, and I'll try to retag it even. If I have time during the day, some days I don't even get on Instagram, but most days I'm on there. Boom. These are the people who mentor me. He made da-da-da-da-da. lift other people up and show people that you're excited about something. People want to follow excitement. If you don't post nothing, you don't tell anybody you're doing this except for 2 people, you're not going to make money selling stuff. Your nodes are still going to do what they're going to do. I said it 1,000 times. Your nodes have nothing to do with that side. But if you really want to really help people, you've got to get out and tell people this is what you're doing.
Love it. So get back to the person that invited you, and we'll see you Thursday night, 9 o'clock. And might have a guest speaker, might not. Be a great overview to invite someone to learn about what Connect United is and what we have. So you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, everybody. And Patty for president. Great job. I'll see you later.
Killing it.
Everybody.
Patty, I need a loan.
Billy.